The Eastern Conference playoff race has officially reached a boiling point. And right at the center of it, the Buffalo Sabres. What started as a promising stretch of hockey has now turned into one of the biggest stories in the NHL. The Sabres are not just winning games, they are shifting the balance of power in the East. Every night the standings tighten, every night pressure builds, and every night Buffalo keeps responding. This isn't luck. This isn't a fluke. This is momentum built on structure, speed, and belief. A streak that means more than wins. Hot streaks happen in hockey, but not all streaks are equal. What separates this Sabres run is the way they're winning. They're not squeaking by weaker teams. They're not surviving on overtime coin flips. They're controlling games. From puck drop, their pace sets the tone. Opponents are forced to react rather than dictate. The Sabres are skating with purpose, entering the zone with control, and turning defensive recoveries into instant counterattacks. The neutral zone has become their weapon. Fast transitions, clean breakouts, aggressive forechecking. It's modern NHL hockey. Fast, layered, relentless. And Eastern Conference rivals are struggling to slow it down. Offensive confidence reaching another level. Scoring depth has become Buffalo's greatest strength. The top line is producing, the second line is driving possession, the bottom six is contributing timely goals. That balance makes them unpredictable. Defenses can't key in on just one player. Goaltenders can't prepare for just one shooting threat. Shots are coming from everywhere. High slot, cross-ice feeds, point blasts through traffic. And perhaps most dangerous of all, the Sabres are scoring first. When Buffalo takes an early lead, their confidence multiplies. They stretch the ice, open passing lanes, and force opponents to chase the game. That is when mistakes happen, and Buffalo capitalizes. Defensive structure quietly winning games. For years, critics pointed at defensive inconsistency as Buffalo's weakness. Not anymore. The Sabres are collapsing effectively in their own zone. They are protecting the middle of the ice. They are limiting high-danger chances. Defensemen are stepping up at the blue line instead of backing in. Forwards are tracking hard through the neutral zone. It's commitment hockey. And it shows in the numbers. Opponents are generating fewer clean looks. Second chance opportunities are being cleared. Rebounds are controlled. When you combine offensive firepower with defensive responsibility, you get a team that can beat anyone. Goaltending, the backbone of the streak. Every hot run needs a foundation. For Buffalo, that foundation is between the pipes. Clutch saves at key moments, calm presence under pressure, consistency in back-to-back games. When momentum starts to shift, one big stop resets everything. The Sabres' goaltending hasn't just been good, it has been timely. And in the Eastern Conference, timing is everything, because this race is tight, very tight. Eastern Conference pressure cooker. Look at the standings. Teams are separated by only a handful of points. Wildcard positions are constantly changing. Every loss matters. Boston, Toronto, Florida, Tampa Bay, Carolina, New York, all fighting. And now, Buffalo is forcing its way into that conversation. Each Sabres win doesn't just add 2 points to their total, it steals breathing room from someone else. That's why the intensity is rising. That's why divisional matchups feel heavier. That's why every game now feels like a playoff preview. The mental shift. Perhaps the biggest change isn't tactical, it's psychological. Buffalo no longer plays like an underdog. They skate like they expect to win. Late in games, there's no panic. On the road, there's no hesitation. Against contenders, there's no intimidation. Confidence is contagious. When one line scores, the next line believes. When a goalie makes a save, the bench lifts. When the crowd erupts, momentum builds. And right now, momentum is wearing blue and gold. Rivals adjusting in real time. Eastern Conference rivals are studying Buffalo closely. Coaches are adjusting matchups. Defense pairings are being altered. Neutral zone traps are being deployed more frequently. Because the Sabres' speed is creating real problems. If teams press too hard, Buffalo counters. If teams sit back, Buffalo controls possession. It's a difficult puzzle to solve, and until someone consistently cracks it, the Sabres keep climbing. Why this streak feels different. The NHL season is long. Every team hits highs and lows, but this stretch from Buffalo feels sustainable. The habits are repeatable. The structure is sound. The energy is consistent. This isn't emotional hockey. It's disciplined aggression. And that's what makes the Eastern Conference nervous. The bigger picture. If Buffalo keeps this pace, the playoff bracket changes, the wildcard race shifts, first-round matchups transform. Contenders who expected an easier path may face a red-hot Sabre squad instead, and nobody wants to play a confident, fast, structured team in the postseason. Nobody.
The surge is no longer a surprise. It's a warning. The Buffalo Sabres have moved from hot team to legitimate Eastern Conference disruptor. And as the playoff race tightens, the pressure isn't just on Buffalo to maintain momentum, it's on everyone else to stop them. Playoff implications. The domino effect. Every win now carries double weight. When Buffalo secures 2 points, it doesn't just help their own position. It shifts the entire Eastern landscape. A wildcard hopeful slips, a division leader loses breathing room, a contender suddenly sees a tougher first-round matchup forming. The East is brutal. There is no easy path. And if Buffalo locks into a playoff position while playing this brand of hockey, they immediately become one of the most dangerous matchups in the bracket. Why? Because momentum in hockey is powerful, and playoff series are often decided by which team believes more. Right now, belief in Buffalo is sky high. The identity of a contender. To understand why this streak feels sustainable, you have to look at identity. Buffalo isn't relying on one superstar carrying the load. They aren't surviving on unsustainable shooting percentages. They aren't riding luck. They are winning through structure and pace. The forecheck forces turnovers. The transition game creates odd-man rushes. The defensive zone coverage eliminates second chances. This is playoff-style hockey already. And when a team starts playing playoff hockey before the playoffs even begin, that's when they become dangerous. Key drivers behind the surge: every streak has catalysts. For Buffalo, it's been a combination of leadership, youth, and chemistry. Veteran presence has stabilized the locker room. Players who understand what meaningful hockey feels like are guiding the tone. There's accountability after losses and focus after wins. The younger core brings speed and creativity. Their confidence with the puck allows Buffalo to attack without hesitation. But perhaps most important is the buy-in. Every line is committed. Every shift has purpose. Every player understands their role. That balance is rare, and it's working. Eastern rivals feeling the heat. Look across the conference. Traditional contenders expected to dominate the narrative are now sharing headlines with Buffalo. Division leaders are scouting them carefully. Wildcard teams are scoreboard watching. Fan bases are beginning to realize the Sabres are not going away. And that creates tension, because the Eastern Conference doesn't forgive slow stretches. One losing skid can drop a team 3 spots. One hot run can flip the bracket entirely. Buffalo's timing couldn't be better. They are peaking as the race tightens. The psychological edge. In tight playoff races, mental strength separates contenders from pretenders. The Sabres are showing resilience. When trailing, they don't collapse. When leading, they don't sit back. When facing adversity, they respond. That psychological growth might be the most important development of all. For years, Buffalo was chasing stability. Now, they're dictating tone, and opponents can feel that shift. The Stanley Cup dark horse conversation? It may sound bold, but whispers are starting. Can Buffalo be a dark horse? The answer depends on consistency. If the defensive structure holds, if the goaltending remains steady, if scoring depth continues, then yes. Because playoff hockey isn't just about star power. It's about timing, health, and momentum. And right now, the Sabres check all 3 boxes. The road ahead? The schedule won't get easier. Divisional games will intensify, back-to-backs will test stamina, travel will strain depth. But these are the tests that reveal legitimacy. If Buffalo maintains their pace through adversity, the conversation changes permanently. No longer rebuilding, no longer surprising, no longer underestimated. They become established. A conference on edge. The Eastern Conference is a battlefield, heavy hitters, elite goaltenders, explosive offenses. But the Sabres are proving something important. You don't need to be the loudest team. You need to be the most prepared. And Buffalo looks prepared. Prepared for tight games, prepared for playoff intensity, prepared to disrupt expectations. Final thought, the Eastern Conference battle is intensifying. But in the middle of that storm, the Buffalo Sabres are skating with confidence, clarity, and purpose. This streak isn't just about wins, it's about arrival. And if this momentum continues, the rest of the East won't just feel pressure, they'll feel pursuit. The Sabres are coming, and the race just changed.